Good evening, everybody. This is my 30th video. Well, it's way more than 30, but it's 30 in a row. For the past 30 days, I've uploaded a video every single day. I think there's been maybe one hiccup, but I won't count it. I think I released a video right at midnight. But the goal was to kind of document the process of making this card game you're seeing on screen now. It's called Your Class Rep. It's a two-player, super high speed card game where you don't have to shuffle a deck or do any of those things. Here, I should actually introduce myself. Hi, they call me Pi. For those of you who don't know me, I make games like this one. I program, make art. I do all kinds of stuff. And to be honest with you guys, I feel a little bit like I'm in a rut. Not a rut, but I'm really, to be honest with you, going to be a little vulnerable here. I kind of struggle with scope creep and feeling like what I'm doing just isn't good enough. So that's something I need to kind of work through. I'm constantly looking for little things that need improvement that don't. In fact, what you're seeing on screen here has changed significantly since I took all these pictures. The cards are almost entirely different. And I think I gotta stop and move on to the next step in the process, which is starting to show how to actually play the game, starting to actually get all of these printed, because this is a physical card game. And I don't know if part of that's scary. I don't know if I'm afraid of failure, afraid of success. I've heard a lot of different ways to say this stuff, but a big part of me still thinks like it needs to be perfect before I can release it. And obviously that's not true. Even if I release this, assuming it doesn't literally kill me, I can always go back and address any concerns or pain points that the project is having. Or worst case, if it does terribly and no one's interested, I can always pivot onto something else. But just kind of staying here in limbo, I don't think that's valuable for anyone. So we're going to do a couple things this video. I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the changes I've made today. And then what I'd like to do is kind of talk through my plan, just so I have something documented, something to hold me accountable in the future. And I'll also be, I guess, listening to what I said and putting it on Discord again, just so there's something a little more tangible. Now, will this prevent me from kind of changing my mind, moving the goalpost all over the place? Who knows? But I think this is different just because of this milestone, the 30-day in a row milestone. And feeling like I had, in spite of that milestone, which is something I don't think a lot of people can say they've done, I don't feel like I've truly made progress towards my goal. So I think it's time for a little bit of a change. Let's go ahead and jump over to small mode. I want to show you guys some things I've been working on. So we're on to set 3 now. So we have set 1, which is done. Set 2. In fact, I need to show you some things in set 2 real quick. So set 2, we went ahead and made some changes to our math teacher. I don't think I've shown you guys this yet, so just a quick look. This is the male math teacher. He's all about triangles. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. He's holding a triangle. His hair is shaped like a triangle. I thought that was pretty clever. Here's some of the process. And then we also have a female teacher here. And her thing circles. She has a compass, the circumference equations here, and I can show you some of the process iterating on her. So she went through a lot of changes relative to what we saw with the guy. He went probably through just as many. And that rounds out all of the set 2A, kind of like the musical set. Set 3 is the kind of like the active set. That's how I think of it. So these mascot characters are actually based on the school's mascots. These are supposed to be characters in suits. I don't know if that's how they read though, so I may need to come back to it, or maybe I can just say it's good enough. It's actually based on, let's see if I can find them, characters from set 1, these teachers' pets. So these ones are actual little animals. And these ones are supposed to be people in costumes. So hopefully that comes across here. In fact, here, let me kind of show you the journey on these characters. We started with this. Oh my gosh. And moved on up. It's getting increasingly terrifying. And then we landed here. And similarly with the male mouse, name is Nibs. I think I did him second. Started here. Move here. And this is where we landed, again using the original mascot characters as reference. In fact, I may end up changing the male mouse just to make him, I like this full cheeks look. I think that's pretty cute. So we may replicate that with him here. Maybe, we'll see. Might be fine as is. And I don't have a lot of space to work with. The idea is to make them smaller, so they look a little bit smaller relative to the other cards, but we'll see. In a near future video, if there's interest, I'd love to just kind of sit down and go through each card, but I'll probably do that with, I'd love to do that with physical cards in hand and just kind of fan through all the cards. Probably low, if no commentary, and just gonna show you all the cards. I think that'd be fun to do that way. And we'll just go through these, the 4 cards we did here in big mode, so you guys can see them. So again, we have our teachers. Let's find these guys. Uh-oh, where'd they go? Got a little carried away there. So our teachers. And we have our mascots. Oh, don't mind me. I guess you have to kind of mind me. Our mascots. Awesome. So what does the future look like though? I think that's important to talk about. I think the goal is to really lock in and finish up these last couple of cards. By my count, there are about, I think, 6 cards total that I really want to make adjustments to before I call it done. There's so many things that I have to do. That's, at least that's how I feel. But the priority for me right now is to get physical versions of these cards, so I can start taking pictures, photos. I can start putting them on Instagram for people to see. And then I want to make them available for sale, and figure out what that looks like, how to advertise the cards and get them in front of people and get a shop up if that's the route I end up going. Yeah, I think that's the plan. So let's be a little bit more specific. I think the goal is we'll aim for Friday. By Friday, let's have all of the cards complete. And let's use this weekend to get them prepared for print and get them printed. There's a local shop where I actually had the physical cards done. And I think I will do that there. Again, I have went out and purchased a better paper cutter. If you saw my other video where I almost cut off my hand, that paper cutter is just not, it's not going to be sufficient for the volume that we need to get these cards cut at if we're going to sell them, if we're going to actually be producing them ourselves. Also have a corner cutter now, so I can round the corners of the cards and make them look a little bit more professional. So I think the combination of those two things will make me a lot more comfortable actually getting these cards out. We'll start with that. The primary sole focus will be getting the cards printed by Monday. By Monday, that's the goal. Even as a fallback, I can run out during a lunch break and get the cards done. So we have 6 more cards, and in fact here I'll show you the cards that need to be adjusted. So let's do that. We'll do that in big mode. So we have, that's a couple more karate. A couple more of set 3. So we have the track kids. They're pretty close. The male. We have the skater kids. Yep. And this actually is a big throwback. These are some of the first cards I've ever put on YouTube. Skater female. If you go back, and maybe I'll be patient enough to do it, but I might actually link those videos up on YouTube. These videos actually did pretty well with my first going back to YouTube, so maybe there's something to learn from those and how to present them to people. And the gym teachers, I think they need a little bit of work. So here's the male and the female gym teacher. So those are the 6 cards left. Some of them are heavier lifts than others. I think these gym teachers probably need the most attention. But yeah, I'm up for the challenge. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go ahead and knock this out. If you want to see kind of the process, let me know. I don't know if I'll be recording the process, like the actual process, but I will be reviewing the cards and kind of going through what changed each day. So if you're interested in that, definitely come back, check it out. You can also join our Discord. I post a lot more frequently there. You kind of see the whole process as I go through it. And I guess I'll call it there. This video's going pretty long, longer than what I've been doing lately. So if you stuck through the whole time, I truly appreciate it. Would love some feedbacks. If you have any thoughts or ideas on what on anything, let me know. As always, guys, God bless, be safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.